So it's another Saturday, and I have another school layout for you. I'm going to be using the Little by Little collection from Chamel this week. So I almost didn't do this as a video, but I thought it might be kind of an interesting thing to show you. So if you're like me, you have things like report cards, certificates, different things that maybe your son or daughter has done or brought home throughout the school year that you want to save. So my boys are currently both homeschooled, and I'm working on my youngest son's last year of brick and mortar school. So this is actually the last page like this I'm going to do, but I've done a few of them. And so I have this stack of things that he did in second grade. His report cards, the school does this thing called paths, where each child gets a day to be the paths kid. And I don't remember what paths stood for, but I do know that he brought home this whole paper where all of his classmates and his teacher wrote what they liked the most about him. And so I have all the paperwork from that, or all the papers he brought home from that day when he was the Paths kid. And so I want to keep all of these things in his album. It's not a ton, but it's just a little bit. And I want to do a nice pocket page. I love doing these kinds of pocket pages. I did one every year that my youngest son and my oldest son was in brick and mortar school because they still lay flat in the book, in your scrapbook, and it's a really nice way to keep some of those things where they can be still taken kind of in and out. So when you put you still would have to take the page protector off, but for the most part. So as you saw there, I took that Chamel paper, I cut a third of it off, I put adhesive just along the edges, and I just popped it down on top of the other Little by Little paper. And now I decided to use this paper that had all the little wreaths because I thought that they would be the perfect spot to add a little bit of decor and also to notate what papers and reports were in the pocket. So I went through and I chose one kind of large die cut for each of the wreaths. And now I'm going to go through and add some stickers, letter stickers here. So I layered up the cloud die cut with the postage stamp sticker, and I don't need it to say hello, but so I covered the top of it up with the clouds. And then I'm just adding my letter stickers that say report cards, because that's part of what is in there. And then I'm just going to fidget a little bit. This video is short today because this is a really, really easy page to put together. But when this page is finished, second grade is finished, which is huge. So next week we can start working on my oldest son's. The last couple pages I have to do in his album that's going to go from 7th grade to 12th grade. He's currently a junior, so I really need to get working on that. And his 7th through 12th grade book is 8.5 by 11. So starting next week, we're gonna flip up the size, because that book has both pocket pages, some 8.5 by 11 pocket pages, and some full pages. And yeah, so next week is gonna be a little bit different size and type of scrapbook. And then we'll see where we go from there. But I'm super duper excited that I got my youngest son's second grade school stuff done, because from 3rd grade on he was homeschooled, and that means that there is, for obvious reasons, way fewer pictures. There are still some, but way fewer. So that's awesome. Yay! I decided to go ahead and I want to add some black to this layout. So I'm grabbing these black thickers, and I'm going to go ahead and add all of the die cuts. So what I'm basically doing for each of these blocks is I'm layering a die cut, some stickers, and then I'm also going to layer in some little enamel dots and the foam, those foam stars from the thicker pack, because I kind of felt like the foam, blah, blah, blah. I thought that the foam stars would be not too bulky for this layout. So now I decided that I want to put paths right there. And I realized that paths is, it's an abbreviation for I don't remember what, and I'm sorry. And I have to put a little dot in between all these words, so I'm going to shift them around and move them here and move them there, move them everywhere until I get them where I want them. And then, because they're chipboard thickers, they're going to need some extra adhesive. So after I get all of that done, I'm going to go through and add adhesive. So the next one I'm going to work on is this one over here. So what I have going on here is the wreath at the top left, the wreath in the bottom middle, and the wreath on the top right are all going to have a little bit of wording to signify what is in the little pocket. So we have the paths stuff, we have his report cards, and then also he received a couple of like little certificates throughout his second grade school year because he's really, really smart. Which, that's a positive, but then there's also the fact that he's really, really smart in a not good way too sometimes. So I added my little 2 with the lion because, as you know, I try on every page that the boys are, like if I'm working on 3rd grade, you'll find a little 3 somewhere on the page. If they're in 7th grade, I've tried to put a little 7 on the page. And so this is 2nd grade, so we're going to add this little 2. The next thing I'm doing are just adding some enamel dots to a couple of the little areas. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the stack of his things that I want to keep and slip it right in the pocket. And there we go. That will complete 2nd grade. I hope you enjoyed this little fun way to store kind of maybe not the best photographic school memorabilia. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you again next week for more School Stash Bash Saturdays. Bye!